Yeah, why
Back to
not?
like 2003, because that's where we are in your story. We'll keep tangenting.
Okay,
It's okay. Now curfew's
okay.
kicked in, so people will finally start coming to
Oh yeah,
work.
that's true. That's true. Curfew is literally on
I'm
right
like,
now.
nah, I'm gonna see.
Yo, these guys are crazy with the riots. Yo.
Yo, I'm like sitting there bamboozled a little bit. Now, here's the thing. I'm all for everyone's right to like vocalize and protest and to like, express your opinions and whatnot. But, and this is just my opinion, you should have a plan that has a success threshold that is worth pursuing and some follow up action in place. And nothing has been communicated to me that I believe will be any level of effectiveness. Thus,
Yep.
complete waste of time.
It sucks, but yeah,
And I,
because there's no organization behind it. It's just a bunch of and then you have your the protest. Cool, no problem. The riot, the vandalism, all the what do the stores have to do with it? I don't get it twisted, because at the same time, the flip side of the coin is what is a peaceful protest going to prove?
but it's like, yo, like I'm kind of sitting here bamboozled at this topic. Let's go a little bit back. 2012,
Uh,
year and a half, red squares, pots banging. They did it, man. They followed the game plan, and I wasn't part of it. I watched. They stuck it through and they ran it. And what the government do? They changed the law and made it like illegal to do that. And now and I'm like, okay. And then since 2012 in that situation, I have seen protests. But my real question is, has this done anything on any of the
they
issues?
don't
But you know
they
what
don't
happens?
care.
You know what happens at every one of these big ass whatever protests? Problems. So and the police get great photo ops and shit gets a little more draconian. So it's like
Yeah,
I hear what people say when they're like rights to protest and what we just gonna go and do is take it. But I'm like, if y'all really want to win a war, like, go read the art of war and learn about that enemy
yeah,
and strategic ways to move around it when there are viable ways to create the data you need to prove your point without
it's
even
true.
leaving your house. So, like, anyway, I wrote a Facebook post just to back up my shit if anyone wants to see a viable strategy on how to protest from home. It's hard. It's real hard. And then you need democracy on your side. You means you really need like hundreds of thousands of people to be on your side just
Yeah.
to open the conversation gate. Now, if you ain't sure you're getting that, maybe you shouldn't go outside right now. What is 5,000 people? Like zero point 0
Yeah.
something of our fucking greater Montreal population. Y'all are a blip. That's what I had to say about that. Learn some stats and relativities and shit. Yo, I'm irked at this. Somebody
Yo,
accused me of some twisted word shits, and I'm like, what do you do? You're a keyboard activist. That's my new thing. But I'm gonna like think about that a little bit more. But that's what it felt like. Keyboard
no,
activism.
this is it's COVID, man. It's 2021. Everyone's a COVID. Everyone's a keyboard activist, man. Everyone turns keyboard flexing. It's all about how fast you can type now.
It's like, look, and again, I'm okay with people wanting things and being frustrated and all the other things that kind of come with this situation. Nobody's happy right now. But like,
Yeah,
I'm not for things that encourage the government to go more aggressive. That's kind of where I'm at with
that's
it.
what's gonna end up, but you know, for those who know, no.
Anyway, sorry, I got a little. It was
Those
in
who
my heart
know,
and
no.
soul.
Yeah. Oh man, I got you, man. I
No, but
got
it's like anyway, because like they set up protests all week. You just saw it all over Facebook and stuff. And I know people's who's sharing this shit, and it's like, yo, this is one of those topics where it's like, man, we are gonna a lot of be divided in the artist community on this shit because a lot of artists are on both sides of this fence right now.
artists. It's the same thing as the COVID vaccines, right? Like, there's a lot of division right now.
Yeah,
There's a lot of division.
and it's bizarre to me. It's like everybody's operating on two distinct data sets that don't communicate with each other very well because our concept of facts and reality are just based on completely different things. So it's like, how do you bridge that gap?
A lot of people gain their facts from Facebook without the Google check.
Even the Google check, it's not fair to judge them. I do freelance writing for SEO optimizing content and blog writing.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there are pages that rank that I have written, and I did not. I don't know. I made up some stuff here and there. I fluffed in my ideas when
Yo,
I.
what I mean by Google check. Yo, fam, if it's not covered by an actual like for Montreal, listen, CTV, in English, right? We got CTV, we got the Gazette. Yo, if it's not like a global, if it's not one of these like main like big one, I'm not paying too much attention.
Yo, do you read it or do you watch it?
Both,
I like that. I like that. It's a good answer. Because
both.
I find that.
Some things you have to read, some things you have to watch.
Clarify that, please. What do you have to read?
Well, look, some articles when they come out, they're only available for you to read. So I listen. If you want to know, do what you got to do. I can read.
So I find
You
that
know?
like there's a difference between consuming news via video where somebody has a tone of voice and visuals to like really add that extra layers of manipulation versus words where at the very
Yeah,
least you can think about the language being used, and people don't necessarily think about that when they're consuming their content, so they're not hyper vigilant to tone of voice and how, if you're like, let's say you really like a creator, and I'm gonna accuse Philip DeFranco of being a biased fuck here, but like honestly,
okay.
that guy has politics that he skews into the objective part of his show all the time, and he's very subjective with his reporting, and he very much politicizes news articles for what he believes in, but he
Yeah,
does
yeah.
this under the ruse of objectivity. So it almost skews the definition of objectivity to his audience because he doubles down on this objectivity. That isn't happening in the fucking text because you think about the words.
True, true. Yeah, but I mean he's found his niche, right?
Yeah, but everyone in video is doing that.
They find what works for what draws their most attention, and
But
they stick with, even if it throws them off of, even if it throws them off of what's even legit.
mm, I was just, I guess, thinking about from like more of a consumer perspective. If you consume it from that point of view, you don't gain the same
Yeah.
level of critical ability to filter through the what's objective and what's subjective.
Well, at that point, listen, like now it's a thing of this. Like you found one source, go double check, go triple check, go, you know, go
Mm,
do some homework on it before you press share. Make sure it's legit.
I respect that a
Make
lot.
sure, just make sure you know, like, yo, people like I now that this whole COVID situation is happening, there's a lot of things that I think that different people around me should know. So I will listen. My phone sends me notifications on stuff that's happening on Montreal Gazette now because of how much times I've clicked on it.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? Like my phone tells me what's going on when there's a new article that happened on DC. Something happened with Ray Fisher and my phone tells me because I'm so caught up in this stuff, man. Like like I get these notifications now.
But you still read a lot
And
of
it's
it too.
crazy.
I like that.
It's crazy because your phones really study.
Okay, so,
Crazy.
so check it. You want to just one on that one? I do the shit with the New York City folk, right? And so we're shooting the
Yeah.
shit, and I swear I checked my phone after my last interview, and it said, "Are you planning a trip to New York City? Here's some recommendations." And I'm like, "What the fuck, yo?" That
Yes,
was,
sir.
I guess,
Yes,
somewhere
sir.
in the middle of that conversation, I said the word trip, and bet even now it's gonna say some shit like that after.
Yeah, it's gonna ask you again. Now it's gonna probably ask me.
You know what? As much as you think I hate it, I've gotten some good deals off of it. I've gotten told about products I want off of it. I am really okay with
buddy,
this.
buddy, thank you. People are losing their minds, and I'm like, yo, this some of the stuff I've purchased from these random ads has made my life easier.
Yo, have you ever gone back to regular TV and watched regular people commercials?
Bro, I don't know the last time I've even had regular cable.